Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 7 of Civilization 5 as Russia. We've got a decent amount of money in the bank. I'm not making a huge amount of income, but what we've got saved up is not too bad. We are now working on astronomy so that hopefully we can get some units over to the other landmass and try and find where the other civilizations are. We were able to find Byzantium. That's only because we had a spy in Honolulu and one of Byzantium's units happened to pass through our field of vision. Moscow has just grown. You are working that tile. There's got to be a better one for you. And that is probably still the Oasis. Right, will you lock that tile in? Yes. Will you lock that tile in? No, for whatever reason. 22 turns until growth or 13 turns until growth. I guess I'll just carry on with that one for now. But it does have a habit of randomly moving my... population around. I'm not too sure why it's doing that. It's very annoying. We've got our own religion now, which is good. It's going to be a little bit difficult to spread that to our own cities because of William. Okay, declaration of friendship with Byzantium. She's more than likely going to backstab us, but if she does backstab us, that is fine. Because if she backstabs us, then people are likely to dislike her, which is good for us. So, we finished our production in Wilsonia, which was the amphitheatre. Let's go ahead now. I want universities everywhere, actually. As we are having some problems with happiness, but we need to get the unis, so let's start working on those. These workers have now done. Let's get you guys down here and we'll start working on that camp. I don't know why I connected these horses up. I knew that the tile was out of working range. I connected it up so we'd have the extra horses. I mean, it is 4 horses and we do get double. So it's put us up from 8 horses up to 16, but I don't really have a lot of use for them. I guess I could sell them. Both Polynesia and Theodora both want horses. So it's not a bad thing to do. Trade 4 horses for 270 gold. Yep, and can we do the same thing with Polynesia? You don't have 270 gold, so how about if we trade 3 horses for 202? Yep, brilliant. That is great. Wilsonia has grown. Let's put you in... I guess the pure production tile is probably the best one right now. So, yeah, let's stick with that. I mean, you are working on the university after all. Let's put it down from 30 turns to 21. So, can't really grumble at that. We'll probably want to try and get some more temples just so that we can get ourselves some more faith. And try and benefit as much from tithe as possible. Waiting for my open borders with William to end. Because when that happens, then we've got the opportunity to stop his... Well, not stop, but discourage his missionaries anyway. He wants horses as well now. So how about if I give you 4 horses for 270 gold? Look at that now, we're making a decent amount of money. Let's go ahead and just outright buy the university in Moscow then. And we'll go on to the next turn. Looks like I can still sell some more horses to Byzantium. She doesn't have an awful lot of money, but... maybe sell her 2 more. I don't want to sell all of my horses, might need some for myself, but... see what we can do. So she still wants horses. Let's go and sell her 3 horses for 202 gold if she'll accept. And she will. Brilliant. Back up to 1,000 gold again now. I guess we could just go ahead and buy the university in Githyonia. Which is not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll buy the university and we want to work on... let's work on a temple actually. We still need to get another trade route. It might end up being a caravan though, because at the moment the sea trade routes we've got are pretty awful, although we will have some slightly better ones. That was the wrong thing to click on. Trade routes available via sea. Githyonia to Groningen, not too bad I suppose. I guess getting naval trade routes will be better in the long run, so yeah, we probably will get another cargo ship. And what have we got going on here? We have finished our production in Moscow of the National Epic. Let's go ahead and get that Colosseum, and after that we will want to get a market. And let's go on to the next turn. 12 turns until astronomy will finally be able to go and try and find where all of the other AIs are, and hopefully find out who all the other AIs are. Unfortunately, there used to be a way to find out. There used to be a little bit of a cheat to not to discover them, but to find out who they were, which was basically if you went into diplomacy with one of your neighbours who you were sure had met them, and you could tell them to declare war on somebody, and you used to be able to see everybody that they met. You can't see that now. They've removed the ability to do that, which I guess makes sense. It's good that they have done that. But it did remove a nice little exploit that we often used to use to find out who else was on the map. It'd be nice to get friendly with some of these. See, Yerevan still isn't friendly with anybody right now. They have a mission for a great general. That probably isn't going to happen anytime soon. Surprisingly enough, they haven't actually expanded to Mount Fuji. I was kind of expecting that would happen. It's going to be too far away for me to work, but wasn't worth settling a city next to it just to get that. Let's go back to Amsterdam with you. And then we'll go on to the next turn because there's not an awful lot else to do there. Polynesia has denounced Byzantium. Well, we knew that would happen sooner or later. Githyonia is going to grow in 3 turns. We never did get caught for spying on Polynesia, and we're 11 turns away from being able to potentially steal another tech from them, which is nice. Who are you at war with? You're not at war with anybody right now. Were they at war? Were Polynesia and Byzantium at war and I missed it? Cargo ship, you were going to Yerevan. You might as well carry on with that, actually. Still giving us the best gold per turn. 9 more turns for astronomy. Now then, what do we want to work this tile with? Do we want to work it with Moscow, or do we want to work it with Githyonia? We'll have a look at Moscow. Mind you, Githyonia is about to grow, and it doesn't have an awful lot of good tiles to choose from, so we'll probably put him in there as soon as it's done. I'm assuming that tile's done anyway. Yeah, that is being worked by Githyonia. It is still working this tile that I asked it to, but still doesn't always lock them in. Of course, we do want to actually start working the university tiles now. Let's move you out of there. Put you into the uni tile. We still probably want to have at least one in the Writers Guild. 7 turns until growth. 5 turns until growth. Be nice if we put them in the ones that I wanted them to be in and would lock them in. What are we going to do with you then? Guess we could go ahead and get another one of those on this hill, so let's go and do that. 7 turns for astronomy. We're also 17 turns away from getting a great scientist now, and we've got plenty of spaces where we could put down an academy. So we'll definitely do that. Still early enough in the game that academies are useful. Looks like the Dutch have knights now. Probably due to all the horses that I gave them. Githyonia has grown, and you are now working that tile there, which is the one that I wanted you to. You got a free person though, so let's go and put you in the university slot. And we're going to want to start getting observatories as well as soon as we can. Now we could start work on Could we not work on Oxford University? We still need a university in Wilsonia, which we are currently still building. Well, we'll let that finish naturally, so I don't have to spend the money on it. But it will give us a chance to get observatories in Githyonia. We won't be able to get one in Moscow, which is the only shame, but we do have the National College there, which does pretty much the same thing. Of course, if your capital city is next to... Well, it doesn't have to be your capital, but if you build your National College in the same city as a city with an observatory, the bonuses do stack. But it's not very often that happens, because you normally want to build your national college in your capital, because your capital normally has the best science output and it normally has the best production, meaning it will build the quickest. But your capital is rarely next to a mountain, so sometimes it works out, others it doesn't. Not an awful lot you can do. At least now Moscow has its own religion, we are still getting the +1 culture from pastures again now, which is quite nice. But we need to try and get that religion up here in Githyonia. But I'm tempted, if I do get another prophet, to actually reform the religion. But we are going to need to push it out in those directions. Work has begun on a market, that's in Moscow. Try and keep the gold coming in. Production isn't too great, so it'll be nice to buy stuff if we need to in an emergency. William's still fairly far out in front with his score. Githyonia is about to finish the temple. That will certainly help with getting ourselves another profit. So now we're making 7 faith per turn. So what are we going to do at Githyonia now? The lighthouse would give us +1 food on ocean tiles. We don't have any fish up there. Oh, there is 1 fish. So it is worth getting a lighthouse. We will go ahead and do that. And we probably also want to grab ourselves... How much gold are we making? Not an awful lot. Harbour would give us a better sea trade routes. So I guess we could get a harbour there. It's not a bad idea. You guys have finished that. Let's go ahead and connect up the other incense. There's not an awful lot of point in doing it, but we will anyway. The entire 4 city-states that we've found are all friendly with the Netherlands, so... Of course, there's still quite a few more to be found on the other island. Research agreement with Theodora. If she doesn't stab us in the back, it might actually work out for us. The one with William is going to end in 11 turns. We don't have one with Polynesia. We can't really afford that right now. There we go. We have astronomy. So, these guys should be able to embark onto ocean tiles now. Choose a research. Astronomy is done. We probably want to grab machinery so we can get crossbowmen. It'll also allow us to build the ironworks. And from there, we probably want to go steel into gunpowder. That doesn't mean picking up a lot of the other stuff as well, but got a few things that we do need to fill in. You guys start work on that. 11 turns to the Great Scientist. 7 turns we'll have that university. We still need that cargo ship. Probably get that in Githyonia before... Cargo ship? Yeah, we'll get that before the harbour, I think. So what have we got here? Moscow has grown. And we could put you in that slot, or we could get you working the Writers Guild slot. Oops, does increase the culture, I suppose. 47 turns until growth, though, is quite bad. Why have you decided to work that slot when you should be working the one with the most food? 24 turns until growth. Let's take one out of there. 19 turns until growth is slightly better. Or we could put you in there, 16 turns until growth. Then we'll go for the 19. Can't instantly see a better tile there, so we'll do that one. And finally, we can get out into open water, and we might be able to find where all of the AIs are hiding. See who we can discover. You'd probably just run into barbarians now and get sunk, but you never know. It'd be good to finally find all these other people. 100 research per turn at the moment. That's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Let's keep moving up with you guys. See what we can find. Nothing yet. Wonder how big the other landmass is going to be. I mean, I'm assuming all other... Oh, there we go. We found Spain. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with Spain after my first attempt on Deity. But we'll go for an embassy. She's actually all the way down there. How did we spot Spain? Did Spain get a unit near us? Oh, sorry. We've discovered Darius there. So we've discovered the... oh, Melbut's discovering a lot of stuff all of a sudden. Darius is... wow, World Congress. Oh, we've just discovered everybody. Okay. And there's Japan. So we've discovered everybody now because somebody managed to get World Congress. So we've got Persia and we've got it's not Polynesia, it is Indonesia. And who else did we have? We have Japan there as well. So let us get embassies with everybody so we can see where they all are. You agree to that. We will have an embassy with you. I'm not particularly bothered about being attacked by any of these guys, so... And embassy. That'll allow us to see where everyone is. We can steal a technology. We can get navigation for free. It's the most expensive tech, so we might as well grab it. See if we don't get caught. We can make a proposal. Let's go for the World's Fair, because everybody loves the World's Fair. Yep, they are all over here. Literally, quite literally. Japan is currently at war with Polynesia and Indonesia. So it's very, very interesting to try and keep track of everybody's... who's friends with everybody else, because you might upset somebody if you're not too careful. We will continue to work our way over here and see what we can find. There's a couple of people that want incense, and we do have spare incense. We have 3 incense that are, well, 2 are spare. So you can give me 7 gold per turn. And we'll go to Darius, and you can give me 7 gold per turn for another one. And I actually think, are we actually... yeah, we're working on another here, so we'll be able to sell one more. Oh, well, we've been caught spying on Polynesia that time. That is fine. So we won't spy on them anymore. So we need to send our spy somewhere else. And we'll have a look and see if we can work out who has the highest tech. See, everybody likes it because we wanted to do the World's Fair. We don't need open borders. Maybe I'll just spy on Spain, because Spain annoyed me in that last game. Well, not the last game, the one before, but still. You know the one. If you've seen it, you know why I'm still salty about Spain. So let's just have a quick look and see what we can see. So, the Netherlands have 5 techs that I don't. Probably still can't reach most of these. Polynesia, 4 techs. Yeah, that's all I can really see. So... you're at war with Byzantium and Japan. We do have a declaration of friendship with Byzantium. Japan are down at the bottom, so they're not doing so hot. Indonesia is friendly. Darius and Spain isn't. I actually think I'm going to spy on Spain, to be honest. So let's go and move you... who has the biggest city, actually? It's actually Persia. Let's go spy on Persia, then. Send a spy to Persia. Persia is also one of the closest cities here as well. We'll find our way over to this landmass at some point. Hopefully he's not too annoyed that we stole from him. It was a good tech to get, though. It was one of the higher tier ones. I mean, that's going to save us a few turns of research. We don't need open borders with you. 6 turns, we're actually going to get a research agreement. 50 gold per turn as well. That's pretty decent at this stage of the game, I think. Work has begun on a cargo ship. Come on, where is the coast? Borders of Githyonia have grown. I mean, at least we have found everybody now. It's a little bit annoying that it happened at such a late point in the game, because it did give us a little bit of a setback. But at least with me and the Netherlands being down on this little island, it is given us a bit of protection. And it will continue to give us a bit of protection unless the Netherlands attack. Obviously, Polynesia has a city down there. But they're not going to do anything. Do we want to get an artist guild down here in the same city? I guess it would make sense. And there's nothing else down here that we particularly desperately need. So let's go ahead and work on that then. We need to get our population up there as quickly as we can. You finished work on that, which is fantastic. I guess we could go and get another one. I tend not to work tiles that are purely production unless I'm trying to beat someone to a wonder. And if there's a wonder that is really important to get, I will often let the city go into starvation just to try and maximize the production that I can get. But again, because you generally don't rush a lot of wonders in Deity difficulty, unless you're going for something like the Hubble Space Telescope, most of the time I don't even bother doing that either. Oh, and the Porcelain Tower as well. Porcelain Tower is also one that you particularly want to try and rush for. Wilsonia has grown. And again, you don't really have an awful lot of decent tiles, which I dislike. But you do have the university, so we do want to start working the university slots there. That being said, wow, you're going to grow so slowly. What about if we put you there? 33 turns. Slightly better. We'll allow you to keep working on the university. We also want to get Oxford University. We probably want to get that before the Artists Guild, to be honest. Wilsonia has finished the university, so you can work on an observatory. We're okay for happiness for now. We've got some money. We could also go and buy some luxury resources if we need to. So we've got time for one more turn. That doesn't count because it's just this guy getting upset because he's run out of movement points. And on to the next turn. We're very, very close to Polynesia now. He's still willing for a declaration of friendship, which is great considering he caught us spying on him, so that's good. Japan has now lost his capital to Polynesia. He's not been wiped out of the game yet, though. I'm guessing that means we have spare incense. I'm going to refuse, simply because, I mean, I would like to sell him the incense. Japan doesn't like, well, we don't really care about Japan because they're too small. No, you know, they're at the bottom. They're not going to be significant in this particular campaign, I don't think. So, do any of my cities demand anything? We want copper, and wine. We could actually buy wine from Darius. So we don't particularly need cotton. So let's go ahead and we will trade our incense for gold per turn. And then let's just go to Darius and see if he will allow us to buy the wine from him. Which he is. So that will give us a Wheel of the King Day in 2 of our cities, which is nice. You guys will do the same thing. Well, a farm up there wouldn't really be any use. We've got a farm on this tile. Githyonia has grown. And again, the selection of tiles now is getting pretty poor. 17 turns until growth. We'll just put you into the university then. That seems fine. And that's all we can do on this turn. So I'm going to end the video there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5 as Russia. I'll see you on the next video. And until then, goodbye for now.